Okay, so I'm getting ready for the second operation of the unlevel edge that I'm coming out with, and just as a note, I'm now doing this on a new camera, or camera that I've had but I didn't have a microphone for, so see how this works if I'm even recording any audio. But here's what we got. I don't remember if I showed it off last time, and maybe this is a lot easier now. Hopefully this camera can autofocus in here. I've got a bit of a, what I would typically call focus, a bad surface finish in here. Usually I would go in there and clean that up, but I'm curious because it feels quite good as far as texture goes, so I'm going to leave it on there. I don't know if I can make a controlled surface finish like this all the time, that I could, you know, repeat this. It's much easier in my mind to repeat a good surface finish because it's, you know, it's known how to make a good surface finish to me. It's not entirely known how to make a bad surface finish, consistently the same bad surface finish. And the reason that came up, this happened, is I'm using a way longer end mill. I should have taken a much less aggressive cut, and I didn't, so that's what I'm left with. And I can fix this, but again, I'm not going to because I'm curious what it feels like, especially after bead blast. So, as a note, I do have t-shirts with this design on it. They're screen printed in Tennessee by one of my customers, so that's pretty cool. So if you're looking to pick one of these up, let me know, or check out my website. I am going to pause this and bring you back. I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so we're back. I used to apologize for doing this video of a screen rather than do a screen recording, but I think maybe this actually works just as good, so hopefully you can see. This is the second operation, so we gotta flip this over, put it in JAWS. And this is like the most basic setup to do, so I'm not gonna go over it in great detail, but if I hide this, you have the shape of the part right there. This will sit nested in there. And I've got to machine these two jaws first before I proceed with anything else, so that'll be the next thing to do. So this is going to be really simple editing when I do this, but I'm going to bring you over my shoulder for a bit and see how this works, how it looks, and then if it doesn't, then I'll just not put it in the video. So I'm trying to be more consistent with these videos, and this is just, you know, to start back up, get comfortable on camera. The last video I feel like was much worse, so you know, doing the video for the first operation of this, I wasn't super comfortable with the video, or taking the video, talking to the camera. I like this a lot better so far, because whatever it is about being able to see that I'm actually taking a video as I'm taking it. I was looking at my phone before, and you're just looking at the camera. It just felt even weirder than talking to the camera like this. Open this up. How do I want to handle this? So the vise is all set up. I gotta touch this off now. get this running. Okay, so this video is going to be a mess, but I'm going to change one of the tools out before I run the program, and I'll take a video of that. So that's changing the tool. I gotta turn the compressor back on and run the part, so I'm gonna come back when I'm done. And we're back. So I'm jumping around a bit, but it's about 11:30 here and I'm trying to get this done. So jaws went fine, machining went fine. So I'm kind of regretting leaving the bad surface finish on the outside now, because now that the inside is done and it looks perfect, to my eye it seems silly to leave this surface finish on the outside here. So I'm going to clean this up and bead blast it right after I get off here, but I'll explain it in case anybody doesn't know. So this is what people are calling an unlevel edge. Everyone's doing it differently, and I think I've picked probably the simplest, most obvious way is to just have an arc. I've seen all sorts of step designs and asymmetrical arcs, but at the end of the day, it's just trying to make up for the length difference of, you know, the most dramatic being your pinky, and mine's a stub of a finger on my hand, my pinky that is, and the ring isn't much better. But when I put my hand in here, this simple arc makes up for it a great deal. And when I 3D printed a bunch of those experimentation parts that are similar to other designs out there, I didn't really notice any real difference. So I think it's overcomplicating it. This is much simpler, and also you don't have to flip it, you don't have to shift your fingers over and realign. Just line up your ring in middle, the middle of that with the center of the carabiner slot like you would on any of my other products, and you're good to go. Just pull, it's going to be more comfortable. This shape hold is not new. We've been climbing on holds that have this shape for ever, and we've known it's comfortable for forever, so this is going to be something that is going to be comfortable. It's just simplifying it and works just as good. And then when you flip it over, you've got these serrations, and the idea here is the device is going to shift backwards like this. It's going to make it a little bit tougher to hold on to, but in order to do that, you're going to squeeze, so you're going to work your adductors in your fingers, and that would be beneficial when you're doing full open hand with your fingers splayed out slopers. That could give you some added benefit. There's not a whole lot of research on this right now, so this is kind of, I don't want to say it's cutting edge, but it's not something a lot of people are doing, and it's a bonus feature of this. Or again, it's a unlevel edge with a bonus of having the adductor training on the back, and there isn't really a good way to do this right now, and so you are going to get some adduction by squeezing on these serrations, but you will be using the finger flexors as well when you're pulling on this. Obviously there's no way to not use the finger flexors to hold on to this as well, so it's finger flexors and adductors working together on that, and that might be more climbing specific, but it isn't strictly adductor training, which we have some plans on coming out with something for that as well. So I'm going to clean this up and then bead blast it and come back in a minute. Alright, so this is it. Final thoughts. Got this bead blasted, and I stood under a light. Hopefully it helps, and then still got to get used to this autofocus on this camera. That's it, bead blasted. Serrations in there. Flip it over. It's going to be hard to show you inside there if it ever focuses. It's going to be closer. Anyways, there you go. Get a look at that. So closing thoughts, I definitely regret leaving that surface finish on there before the bead blast. I was hoping maybe it would look cool after the bead blast, giving it a more unique texture. I hate it. It just looks like tooling marks to me. I can't get over it. Maybe it adds a very slight additional amount of texture on top of the bead blast being on all my products anyways, so don't love it, not gonna continue doing that. And again, it just looks like tooling marks to me. It doesn't look like something cool, so I hate it. So I'm not gonna do that again. And the final version, I'll have engraved on the inside the depth of the pocket. That's something I learned from the Baby Boss. Don't just leave it up to people to remember. They're gonna like to have the depth of the pocket depth number on there. This is a 30mm edge, which I think is what's going to be the ultimate depth size. That just gives me the chance to make this wider, the total width of the board, and that gives you more purchase on the backside serrations there. And as far as stock goes, making a 25 versus a 30, the jump isn't such that the 25 I already have to use an 1¼ inch stock if my memory serves, so I might as well bump it up to 30, get this to be thicker so I can have more purchase on the back serrations here. It doesn't seem, I don't know the weight of this off the top of my head, but it doesn't seem excessively heavy, so that seems like the way to go. So I'm going to do some polls on this because I'm pretty psyched on using it, but that's going to be the closing of this YouTube video, is just showing it off and that it all went well. So thanks for watching.